seas and we leave behind another story that's got me blind. Got only you on my mind. I couldn't face what I couldn't find. Just need to know, I need peace of mind. Where are you now? Even though I won't believe it, the truth is a lie, we are healing. Even though words are deceiving, you move on.
Front view of digital camera. Grip battery compartment. A battery grip is an accessory of an SLR or DSLR which allow the camera to hold multiple batteries to extend the battery life of the camera. Shutter button. When pressed, the shutter of the camera is released so that it opens to capture a picture and then closes, allowing an exposure time as determined by the shutter speed setting. LCD panel. LCD or liquid crystal display is the display technology used in digital cameras. In a digital camera, the LCD works for viewing photos, displaying menu option and serving as a live viewfinder. Command dial. Most cameras also make use of the command dial for navigating menus or controlling other context sensitivity function. Built-in flash. The built-in flash can be used not only when natural lighting is inadequate but to fill in shadow and backlit subject or to add a catch light to the subject eyes. Flash knob. Flash button in any of the advanced exposure modes. This button will trigger the pop-up flash. Accessory shoe. An accessory shoe is the small metal bracket or mount on top of a camera used to attach a speed light flash and other accessories such as microphones. Strap picture. A secure camera strap is typically difficult or impossible to cut through. Some straps can deter would-be thieves from attempting to cut them. Cameras are expensive, and since they hold all our trip memories, their loss can be devastating. Camera back. In most move film cameras, the film compartment is spot in the camera's back, and a spring-mounted weight plate placed in the back front of the camera keeps the film level over the photo region opening. Lens release button. The lens release button, press this button to unlock the lens mount and detach the lens by rotating it. Focus mode switch. Use the focus mode selector to choose how the camera focuses. Focus is continually adjusted to reflect changes in the distance to the subject while the shutter button is pressed halfway. Zoom ring. A zoom adjustment ring found on many digital video recorders and digital cameras. Zoom rings enable motorized zoom that allows you to change the focal length in real time as you shoot. Manual focusing ring. A manual focus allows you to focus using a ring around the lens or an equivalent control on your camera body as an alternative to your camera's autofocus system. AF auxiliary light. An AF assist lamp is a small light usually built into a camera body above the lens mount. Head-eye reduction lamp. Have a red-eye reduction feature to help user capture frame-worthy photographs every time. Self-timer lamp. A self-timer. When you set the self-timer, this lamp will blink for the duration of the timer until the picture is taken. This is the section that connects the interchangeable lens to the camera body. Rear view of digital camera. Shutter level. The shutter level is an opaque piece of metal or plastic that controls the amount of light that reaches the camera sensor. Viewfinder. The viewfinder is the eyepiece on the camera that you hold close to your eye to allow you to see what's being photographed. Delete button. When an image is displayed on the camera monitor, you can delete it by pushing this button twice. View button. If you press the view button, you see the recent image you take. Menu button. Most digital cameras have a vast array of settings which you will access using the menu button. Lock button. These buttons are used to lock settings such as exposure, aperture, shutter speed, and focus when held down. Zoom button. When you use a digital zoom, the camera enlarges the image area at the center of the frame and trims away the outside edge of the picture. Thumbnail button. That means you to put your thumb and finger on opposite corners of the monitor and drag both towards the center of the screen. OK button. The OK button is used primarily for selecting menu items, but on some cameras, it will also center the active focus point when using single-point autofocus. The auto exposure lock and autofocus lock. And its primary function is to lock camera exposure and focus. Autofocus on. It is used for engaging autofocus and metering, although its function can be reprogrammed for some other purpose on more advanced digital cameras. Multi-selector. The multi-selector center button on select can be configured for different actions when it viewfinder photography, playback, and live view. Focus selector lock. If you set this switch to lock, the focus point cannot be changed with the multi-selector. I button or info button. Pressing this button brings up a set of functions on the camera's LCD screen, which can be controlled directly. Live view selector. The live view is a function that is available on most DSLR cameras this day. Technically speaking, the live view function lifts the mirror or of the way and opens the shutter. And for the last, info selector. While shooting, pressing this button will cycle through the camera's various information displays. During image playback, it can display metadata, a histogram,